Hi guys, welcome to On the Record with Des, and I'm going to introduce you to a new guest. But before I do that, I just want to have a quick word about our sponsor for this show today, which is actually Sebastian himself. He coughed up some money to actually put this show on. I'm very grateful. So anyway, let's hit it. Hi everyone, and welcome to On the Record with Des, which is me, and my new co-host. That's right, we've got rid of Jeff. Please welcome Sebastian.
Hi Des, great to join you here from On the Rocks, and
right.
really happy to be able to sponsor the show today. You know, it's good to keep the little guys, the wheels of steel, moving along. I just see it as all healthy competition. You know, that you little grassroots guys can keep shows like us sharp.
Yeah, man, I'm not small. So as Sebastian mentioned, he's got his own podcast called On the Rocks, and quite similar to this one. I would say it's not quite as edgy, maybe, as this show. I'd love to talk more about classic rock with such a professional, knowledgeable expert on rock such as yourself. I actually can't wait to really dig into music with you.
Thank you, Des. Likewise, I've heard some of the show. I think, edgy is certainly an interesting way of putting it, and hopefully we can add a little bit of polish to this episode. I think it's great, that we're going to keep this going, especially during these trying times, and we'll get the listeners on Rockdown.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Rockdown is, but it's just a little side bit, really. What did you think about Jeff?
He was the other chap on the show.
Awful.
Slightly,
terrible.
It seemed a little bit something soft in the head, slightly moronic.
Yeah,
I think it's great that you have people like that on your show, give them an opportunity to feel vested in society. And I do wonder now, how is he doing? Is he going to be okay without?
Who cares? Dead, I hope. I have no idea. Deleted him off my Facebook, and by that I mean my life, because my life is pretty much dedicated to the FB. So it was a bit sad actually, because right after I did it, he sent me a friend request, and I said no.
Horrible to hear, deeply tragic. Although I understand your position. If you want to build up a professional show with a strong listener base, at some point you've got to say enough's enough, and let's get rid of the flotsam and jetsam and cut out the dry rot.
Yeah, cut out the fat virgin. Okay, well, let's have a chat about what record we're going to be doing today.
I'm really looking forward to hearing what you've chosen for discussion. And I noticed you didn't send me any preparatory notes, so I've got a pretty extensive knowledge of all the great rock. So
this is a bit
happy
awkward
to just do this on the fly.
I haven't. I thought, to be honest, I thought you were bringing something.
Normally it's the responsibility of the host.
Well,
I know I host my show On the Rocks, but I thought I was just coming on here as a sort of guest expert.
Yeah, with a picking of your choice, because.
Right.
Okay. So what you're telling me is you haven't got anything then?
Well, no. I mean, I can come up with something on the spot.
That'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Fine. Okay. Well, we've just done an extensive episode on the seminal Led Zeppelin III. So, why don't we pick up the story here and let's do Led Zeppelin IV. I assume that's a album you're familiar with.
Is that when they added an extra member of the band? Did they? They became the Led Zeppelin III to Led Zeppelin IV.
No, I mean, obviously it's always been the four members of Led Zeppelin.
And that's the same.
The core, like the classic lineup here.
Okay. They're a band. So, and what's so they're band. So, what's the album called?
So this is just Led Zeppelin. I mean, it's an interesting point to pick up because it's become commonly known in popular parlance as Led Zeppelin IV, just because.
So is this similar to like the Fab Four?
The Beatles. Sorry, I think you're. I mean, it's a world away from the Beatles.
So they're different, and the Beatles are They're not Led Zeppelin. That's so the Fab. Who are the Fab Four?
So the Beatles, I mean, some people say to a degree the track Helter Skelter from their 1968 album, The Beatles, which I believe you covered on this show.
Well, if it's a classic, then yeah.
Yeah, an absolute classic, stone cold classic. And Helter Skelter, to many listeners, was the genesis of the heavy metal sound. Definitely sort of
Phil Collins.
Yeah, heavy rock with a highly distorted guitar tone, which, definitely you can track progress from that through to what we hear on Led Zeppelin IV, merely 3 years removed. So, the pace of the development of this heavy rock, almost metal sound was incredible during this period. I mean, music and culture was just moving on at a rapid rate.
There's a lot. You're saying a lot of words here, and there's a lot of numbers and long words being thrown around here, which I think, just for the sake of our listeners and not for me, let's just, sum it up maybe in like 4 words, the Led Zeppelin 4 words.
Classic, heavy, rock, essential.
Okay, cool. What are some of the tracks on the album that you like?
Well, obviously we can't get past the fact that this includes Stairway to Heaven, possibly the most famous and iconic rock track of all time.
Classic.
I feel so many words have been said about the song over the years. I don't know if we necessarily need to cover it here, but of course, how can you do a show on Led Zeppelin IV and not talk about Stairway to Heaven? So, I mean,
it's about,
I'm happy to hand over to you, Des, here at this point.
Well, great,
let me wax lyrical.
Sure, as everyone knows, Stairway to Heaven, which is sadly about Eric Clapton's dead son, is a classic.
Well, no, hang on, because that's Tears in Heaven. I don't want to discount or undermine, how tragic that incident was, but it's not really appropriate to discuss here on a show about Led Zeppelin.
Sorry, it's who? Tears for Fears.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Tears. You said something about Tears. You said something about Tears for Fears or something.
Have you heard this album, Des?
Yeah.
Be honest now. Have you heard this album?
Yeah, the Led Zeppelin IV. And this is their album. It's a classic rock album. I don't know why you.
How would you compare it to their prior 3 albums?
Because I don't know, it's getting a bit hostile. Well, each one of them is like a stone cold classic. Each one.
Don't mistake my encouragement, trying to push you to express an opinion on this album for hostility, Des. I'm really just trying to encourage, like I said, pick up the small guys, get them to compete and become a contender in the podcasting game. So I think you just need a little nudging along there. You're getting some of the basics wrong. For a start, not knowing Stairway to Heaven. I mean, how are you doing a music podcast show? You've been living under a rock for 50 years?
I just talked about it. I just had a conversation about it. It's a lot of interesting things went on in culture, and it's got a guitar in it. And what else? I live by my own rules.
Let's leave Stairway to Heaven. Another key track, Black Dog. Has the human condition of depression ever been tackled so extensively, heroically, and nobly as here on album opener Black Dog?
I thought it was about pirates or something. It's about the pirate that had the big black beard, Black Dog.
Black Dog is a very subtle, very clever, and evocative way of talking about depression. How did you respond to the song when did it move you?
I was like getting up and I was dancing and all this, like a good. That it's quite the disco fave. I was really moving, really body moving. I
mean, disco isn't a way that I would use to describe this song. It isn't a word I'd use to describe any of Led Zeppelin's music. Is there a song on this album that you liked and that you would be comfortable discussing?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. What's the third track again?
Oh, The Battle of Evermore. Fantastic. Yes. What did you like about this one?
Yeah, not that one. What was the fourth one?
Well, Stairway to Heaven, but we've. I think it's better we clear.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Well away from that stairway.
That's my favorite. This the Stairs to Heaven. Track 4. It's track 4, right? On the Led Zeppelin 4.
Yes.
4 squared. See, it's maths. Simple, really. I think. Surprised you haven't figured that out.
I'm really struggling here, Des. I've got to say, I really don't know where this conversation's going. I don't feel, as a host, you're supporting me to perform my best analysis as a guest.
Well, what, you're the one talking all the time. You tell me about the Battle of Dundee.
You should be guiding this conversation, and
I just asked you a question, didn't I?
Right, fine. What was the question?
The Battle of Abraham or whatever. What's that second track? Third track?
The Battle of Evermore.
Battle of Evermore, yeah. It's Lord of the Rings or whatever, yeah. What do you think of that one? How's that?
Well, it's fantastic. A folk duet.
Oh, is it? Because it's actually about Robinson's Orange Juice. Did you know that? It's actually quite a deep. It's probably the most profound song. And
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That's what you just said is ridiculous. You know that's not. I don't understand. Why are you coming out with this rubbish?
No, well, don't know what rubbish. It's not rubbish, though, is it? It's my opinion. That's what it's about, isn't it? So opinions. So I can't be wrong. That's that's what they say.
Well,
isn't it?
It's an opinion
never
not worth
wrong.
hearing, in my opinion. And I'm surprised that your listeners choose to stick around and hear that opinion. And frankly, the numbers on your episodes are going down and down. And quite frankly, I'll be surprised if by this time next week it hasn't hit absolute rock bottom.
Well, we certainly will be on the rocks then, won't we? Like someone else I know. Well, thanks for that then, Sebastian. Been a great help. How many spins would you give this? You know what? Don't answer that. I'm going to give it.
What do you mean by that?
Don't. Well, just what would you score it?
Out of what?
I don't know. Out of spins, how many spins would you give it?
I mean, what do you mean? How many times have I played it?
Are you thick, Sebastian? How many spins would you give this album?
Right. This is an unprofessional conduct. You're just exposing the level of unprofessionality of this amateurish show, and now you're just embarrassing yourself.
Embarrassing yourself.
Ridiculous. I'm logging off. I've had enough of this.
I tell you what, you picked it, so I'll give it 0 spins. I think it's the first one you've ever had that had 0 spins. Unspinnable. That's you and this album. Sebastian? So that's it for today on the record with Des and Sebastian there. Make sure you go listen to his podcast on the rocks. It really is actually quite a good listen. Inspired the show, actually. I actually really enjoy it. He's actually really good. So, so if you like Sebastian, and he's a nice guy, actually. He's good. He has some good stories on the rocks. You should maybe check it out. Yeah, they say don't meet your heroes, and luckily I didn't today. So anyway, let's see what happens on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.